The Nicomachean Ethics of Aristotle.
Read and presented by George Pitropogiannakis.
Book 2, Chapter 7. It is not enough, however, to state this in general terms. We must also apply it to particular instances, because in treatises on moral conduct, general statements have an air of vagueness, but those which go into detail one of a greater reality. For the actions, after all, must be in detail, and the general statements, to be worth anything, must hold good here. We must take these details then from the well-known scheme. 1. In respect of fears and confidence or boldness, the mean state is courage. Men may exceed, of course, either in absence of fear or in positive confidence. The former has no name, which is a common case. The latter is called rash. Again, the man who has too much fear and too little confidence is called a coward. 2. In respect of pleasures and pains, but not all, and perhaps fewer pains than pleasures. The mean state here is perfected self-mastery, the defect total absence of self-control. As for defect in respect of pleasure, there are really no people who are chargeable with it, so, of course, there is really no name for such characters, but as they are conceivable, we will give them one and call them insensible. 3. In respect of giving and taking wealth, the mean state is liberality, the excess, prodigality, the defect, stinginess. Here each of the extremes involves really an excess and defect contrary to each other. I mean, the prodigal gives out too much and takes in too little, while the stingy man takes in too much and gives out too little. It must be understood that we are now giving merely an outline and summary intentionally, and we will, in a later part of the treatise, draw out the distinctions with greater exactness. 4. In respect of wealth. B. There are other dispositions besides these just mentioned. A mean state, called munificence, for the munificent man differs from the liberal, the former having necessarily to do with great wealth, the latter with but small. The excess called by the names either of want of taste or vulgar profusion, and the defect paltriness. These also differ from the extremes connected with liberality, and the manner of their difference shall also be spoken of later. 5. In respect of honor and dishonor. A. The mean state greatness of soul, the excess which may be called shavnots, and the defect littleness of soul. 6. In respect of honor and dishonor. B. Now there is a state bearing the same relation to greatness of soul as we said just now liberality does to munificence, with the difference, that is, of being about a small amount of the same thing. This state having reference to small honor as greatness of soul to great honor. A man may, of course, grasp at honor either more than he should or less. Now, he that exceeds in his grasping at it is called ambitious. He that falls short, unambitious. He that is just as he should be has no proper name, nor, in fact, have the states, except that the disposition of the ambitious man is called ambition. For this reason, those who are in either extreme lay claim to the mean as a debatable land, and we call the virtuous character sometimes by the name ambitious, sometimes by that of unambitious, and we commend sometimes the one and sometimes the other. Why we do it shall be said in the subsequent part of the treatise, but now we will go on with the rest of the virtues after the plan we have laid down. 7. In respect of anger, here too there is excess, defect, and a mean state. But since they may be said to have really no proper names, as we call the virtuous character meek, we will call the mean state meekness. And of the extremes, let the man who is excessive be denominated passionate, and the faulty state passionateness, and him who is deficient angerless, and the defect angerlessness. There are also three other mean states having some mutual resemblance, but still with differences. They are alike in that they all have four. Their object matter intercourse of words and deeds, and they differ in that one has respect to truth herein, the other two to what is pleasant. And this in two ways, the one in relaxation and amusement, the other in all things which occur in daily life. We must say a word or two about these also, that we may the better see that in all matters the mean is praiseworthy, while the extremes are neither right nor worthy of praise but of blame. Now, of these it is true the majority have really no proper names, but still we must try, as in the other cases, to coin some for them for the sake of clearness and intelligibleness. 1. In respect of truth, the man who is in the mean state we will call truthful, and his state truthfulness, and as to the disguise of truth, if it be on the side of exaggeration, braggadocia, and him that has it a braggadocio. If on that of diminution, reserve and reserved shall be the terms. 2. In respect of what is pleasant in the way of relaxation or amusement, the mean state shall be called easy pleasantry, and the character accordingly a man of easy pleasantry, the excess buffoonery, and the man a buffoon, the man deficient herein a clown, and his state clownishness. 3. In respect of what is pleasant in daily life, he that is as he should be may be called friendly, and his main state friendliness. He that exceeds, if it be without any interested motive, somewhat too complacent, if with such motive a flatterer. He that is deficient and in all instances unpleasant, quarrelsome and cross. There are mean states likewise in feelings and matters concerning them. Shamefacedness, for instance, is no virtue, still a man is praised for being shamefaced. For in these two the one is denominated the man in the mean state, the other in the excess, the dumbfoundered, for instance, who is overwhelmed with shame on all and any occasions. The man who is in the defect, that is, who has no shame at all in his composition, is called shameless, but the right character shamefaced. Indignation against successful vice, again, is a state in the mean. Between envy and malevolence, they all three have respect to pleasure, and pain produced by what happens to one's neighbor. For the man who has this right feeling is annoyed at undeserved success of others, while the envious man goes beyond him and is annoyed at all success of others, and the malevolent falls so far short of feeling annoyance that he even rejoices at misfortune of others. But for the discussion of this also, there will be another opportunity, as of justice too, because the term is used in more senses than one. So, after this we will go accurately into each and say how they are mean states, and in like manner also with respect to the intellectual excellences.